Greetings, my name is James Thomas. I recently began the experience of obtaining my master's degree in game design at Full Sail University. I cannot say that this is where I thought my life would be at the age of 43, but if I've learned anything this far, it's that I'm not always right. About 4 years ago, life gave me an opportunity to fulfill one of my lifelong dreams of graduating from Full Sail. I have always worked with music in one form or another, so I chose the audio production program. However, there were several classes that were geared towards design and audio for video games that really sparked my interest in some other ideas. After graduating, I wasn't sure what the next step was. I made several phone calls to the student liaisons and did a little bit of research. I figured out that I wanted to spend my foreseeable future putting my effort into furthering my education in the game design field. My dream is to work in the game design industry and specialize in audio design and music production. What I learned in the classes I took during my audio production degree was that producing audio is only about 25% of the work necessary to get sounds into a game. A lot of the work stems from workflow procedures and industry standards. I learned that being able to create professional audio was only going to be a small fraction of the work required to design audio, and I needed to learn what I didn't know. However, similar to how Marie Curie's life as a chemist was foreshadowed years before when she was a child standing in her father's lab, I remember standing in my grandmother's living room when I was just a child. My aunt played the accordion, my grandmother sat at the upright piano, my cousin had a makeshift drum set, and there was always a variety of percussion laying around. One cousin or another was always learning a new instrument. We eventually had a clarinet, trumpet, alto sax, drummer, pianist, and an accordion player at all our family gatherings. I may have not realized it then, but I now believe I was blessed to have such a rich musical upbringing as a child. It wasn't as if my life was predestined as it seemed to be for Yoki Matsuoka. My family had not made these decisions consciously as a means to influence my career decisions. It was just part of growing up in our family. We played sports. We learned how to play instruments. These were just the things the parents in our family could afford. I've always felt like music was going to be a part of my life. I'm grateful that while pursuing a career in music, I was able to find an even more localized niche of the industry to work in. I literally stumbled onto the knowledge that I thoroughly enjoyed the work involved in getting a game designed, and I felt like I finally found what I wanted to do with my career. As I shared earlier, I have recently obtained my audio production degree from Full Sail University. When I was taking classes, I regularly heard the question, so what can you do with that kind of degree? In my mind, it's a silly question, but I needed a solid answer for the in-laws. To be honest, I was unsure what the ultimate goal was. I knew that working with audio had something to do with it. I knew that there were a lot of options other than just making music, and ultimately that was why I decided to go back to college, to obtain documentation that I could do what I said I could from the production aspect, but also to learn what else I could do within education and audio production. During several of my classes, we worked on game design and post-production. Both of the ideas opened my mind to an array of possibilities. This is why I learned how much work goes into implementing audio into game design. Although I'm not yet an expert, I believe that producing audio is less than 25% of what goes into designing audio and producing music for games. What I came to realize in those classes was that I needed to learn everything about game design that I could. The first of my 2 SMART goals I would like to set for this class is to create an updated resume including my bachelor's degree and upload it to my LinkedIn account. The second goal to achieve by the end of this course is to complete setting up my Twitter and Facebook James Thomas business accounts.